Yo, what's going on YouTube? Welcome back to another Twins game review, and what a game it was. The Twins beat the Mets. I was blown away, but we're going to go through the whole game. The Twins beat the Mets 14-8. Should have been 14-4. Chase D. Young absolutely sucks. We're going to talk about that at the end of the video, but 14-8 is the final score. 14 runs on 17 hits. Talk about production with the Twins right there. No errors. The Mets scored 8 runs on 11 hits. Most of them came in the last inning, but they also had an error. Not that it really came into effect in the game. It was cold. It was kind of crappy out there. There was like literally nobody in the stands, especially when it was 14-4. But guess who got the loss? You guessed it, Jacob freaking Degrom. That's right. The Twins beat the best pitcher in probably all of baseball, give or take, Chris Sale, not this year, and then Max Scherzer. I mean, this is the NL Cy Young Award winner, 2-1 on the season now. That's right, we're not letting him get to 3 runs. We're going to talk about him a little bit later, too, after we go through the stats here, but Chase freaking D. Young, he is absolutely awful. I can't get that off my mind. Anyways, Hildenberger got the win. He's 2-0. I don't think Gibson went through 5 innings. That's why he did not get the win. Degrom gets the loss. So happy saying that. But let's go through it. Kepler got a hit, 1 for 6 with an RBI tonight. Not his greatest night, but hey, what can you do? You have bad nights. Speaking of bad nights, Polanco didn't have one. 3 for 5 with a home run, 2 RBIs, 2 runs. Good for him. His average is over 400. Astudillo didn't have the greatest night either, but still got a hit, 1 for 5 and a run. Eddie Rosario, another big night for him, 2 for 4 with a home run, 2 RBIs, and 2 runs. He also walked once. Garver, what a freaking career night against Jacob Degrom, of all people. I don't know why this guy's not the starter every day. I'm sorry, Castro, you need to take a seat on the bench. He did good coming off the bench, and that's where he needs to stay. I mean, Garver literally had a career night, 4 for 5, 2 home runs off of Degrom, 2 RBIs, 3 runs. What a freaking night. We're not going to talk about Marvin Gonzalez because he's not good. So he went 0 for 3 with a walk. But Castro, 1 for 1. He did get an RBI and a run scored. Good for him. He's batting 182. He still needs to come off the bench. I'm fine with that. But he had a good night, I guess. But we're going to keep moving on. Scope, 2 for 5 with 2 home runs. One was a 3-run RBI, or 3-run home run. He ended up with 4 RBIs in the night, 2 runs for himself. A good night for him as well. Good to see him get his first couple on the board. Buxton, 2 for 5. A couple stolen bases as well. And 2 runs. And then, well, Gibson didn't do anything. Cron went 1 for 1. And Andrianza went 0 for 2 with a run. He got hit by a pitch. And that's what really sparked the 3-run 8th inning. We scored 7 runs in the 8th and 9th inning. So, I mean, obviously, right, Jacob Degrom, limited us to 6, right? And that's not that good. But he limited us to 6. He gave them a chance. It was 3-5 at one point, then 6-3. But we scored most of our runs off of the bullpen. We know that the Mets bullpen isn't that great. But, hey, we got to DeGrom early, and we got to them often. And, I mean, that's what you could tell with 17 hits up on the board. So let's talk about DeGrom for a second. I mean, this was a guy who, did not give up 3 runs or more in the past year. I mean, he has been lights out, obviously the Cy Young Award winner in the NL, and then he had 26 consecutive quality starts. I mean, that was what tied Bob Gibson, I think, for Major League record, and we shut him down. We shut him down. I'm telling you, Philly was a bad series. It was kind of crappy. It was cold. It was cold at night. It was literally, like I said, nobody in the stands, but we got to DeGrom early, and I'm telling you, we could have done that in Philly. We had 3 errors, specifically in that first game. 3 errors, and we gave up 5 runs in the first inning. You're not going to win a lot of games like that. And then in the next 2 games, we came back and we made it competitive. We won the second game with a couple of big home runs, and we almost won the third game, right? We just literally gave up 1 bad pitch. This is the Twins team that we have seen this year consistently. This is the team that we saw in spring training, and now this is the team that we are going to hopefully see tomorrow. I hope we didn't use up all of our bats and all of our home run juice and all that today, but we get Syndergaard tomorrow. It's going to be basically, the same thing. if we can get to their bullpen, who was really weak today, we can have a chance. And, you know, it's going to start with getting a couple of runs early, getting that support, getting that lead. But then once we do that, get into their bullpen, things are going to look good. So let's talk about Mr. Chase DeYoung. I don't know why this guy has a job. He's literally worse than Castro. I bet Castro could have gotten out of that inning before he could, because he threw 40 pitches before he had one out. That's not true. He threw 35, but then 40 pitches to get the second out. That's not good. He gave up a hit, a home run, a walk, or was it a walk, a hit, a home run, a walk, another hit, a walk? I don't know. Literally, he went through like 6 or 7 batters without giving up an out, without getting an out. I don't know. Has he been on our roster this entire time? Who got hurt that we brought up this guy? Why this guy? He sucked in spring training. I believe he started the first spring training game, and he gave up 3 runs on like the first inning. I'm not 100% sure on that, but it was like 2 or 3 runs in the first inning of the first spring training game. Please go check that. I swear, I don't know why this guy is on a major league team. I would not even put him in the minor leagues at this point, because unless he is throwing perfect games in AAA ball, I am never bringing this guy back out to the mound. We were up by 10 runs, and he allowed 4 in, and he almost, I mean, not that he almost gave up a home run, but there were 3 guys on base. It could have been 11-14. We were just starting to warm somebody up in the pen. I would have rather had Austin Dillo pitch. I mean, honestly, he can't be that bad. He can do everything else. So why are we... I'm just going to drop it. I'm just going to leave it right there, because that is absolutely pathetic. I do never want to see him out on the field again. He's literally, him and Castro can find another team. I love the Twins, but Baudelli needs to figure it out and not put him out there ever again. So that's enough with that. But let's talk about, I mean, I just want to run through this one more time. We had 43 at-bats tonight. 43 at-bats, 14 runs, 17 hits, 12 RBIs, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. I mean, you're looking at, what was DeGrom's ERA last year? Like a 1.5 or something? He is one of the best strikeout pitchers in the league. Have you seen some of his stuff on Twitter? It moves in undimensional dimensions. So, like the 4th, it doesn't matter. 7 strikeouts. That's not bad at all. Scope had 2, and he made up for it with a home run. 2 home runs. And we left 10 guys on base. Now, here's the thing about the Mets. They left 24 guys on base, right? I mean, so here's the thing. We let up 11 hits. We walked a couple of guys. We walked 7 guys. No, we walked, 7 guys. Left them on base. I don't know if that's, bad pitching to let them on base or good pitching that we stopped them from scoring. Either way, that's not going to happen a lot. They're not going to leave 24 guys on base every time. So, to get 14 runs, yes, that's great. That's fantastic. I want to see that every game. However, if they're scoring 8 runs and still leaving 24 on base, that's a little bit of a problem, right? We're going to have to figure that out. Why are we letting so many guys get on base? And, that'll come. That'll come with Gibson getting a little bit more pitching, or Rizzi getting a little bit more pitching, getting back into the swing of things. But the last thing I want to talk about is, okay, so Gibson went 4 2/3, 6 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts. Good for him. He gave up 2 home runs. Who cares? DeGrom, 4 innings pitched. When was the last time he threw 4 innings? 8 hits, 6 earned runs, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, 3 home runs. I am beyond happy with the first half of that game. I mean, and then the Twins, like, up until the bottom of the 9th inning, that was a dream game for the Twins. I mean, I could not be happier. And literally everybody, except for Marwin Gonzalez, contributed. And that's what it's going to take to beat teams like this. I'm telling you, the Twins, maybe not this year. Maybe they figure it out for one more year. They're a World Series team. And I get that it's early, but we have seen this production consistently. It is not one game we show up, another game we don't. It is every day we're showing up, and sometimes we get beat. That is amazing Twins baseball that we haven't seen in a while. Not saying we're going to be the best team in the league. I'm not saying we're going to win the World Series, but this is a possible contender for the next couple of years. We're going to win the division this year, and we are going to do something with it. We have a good team. So, one more time. Might not win the World Series, but we are going to try, and we are going to get close because this is a great team. And I know it's a long season, but this team is playing well. And this is the team that we've seen play well for the last 2 months, going back to spring training. So, it's going to be a fun season. Tomorrow's a big game, though. If we can sweep the Mets like I talked about in that video, we still could go 13-3. Or, excuse me, 9-3. 9-3. 9-3. I mean, hey, it'd be great to go 13-3. I think we would have Houston at that point. I'm not sure. But if we get a big win tomorrow, then we go and take, sweep I think Detroit. We're right back in it, and we are at the top of the division. I think we're 1 game out or a half game back of Cleveland now. So back into second place. Cleveland will get their fair share. They got the Braves. Houston coming up as well. They got another tough team in there. I can't remember, but Detroit's not a bad team either. So we're going to stick around, and hopefully we can get a couple more big wins. So that's all I got for you today. Make sure to come back tomorrow for another one. Syndergaard versus Odorizzi. It's going to be good, and hopefully we can keep our bats hot. So that's all I got. We'll see you tomorrow. Make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you then. Peace out.